started
I know
that
you did.
game like the year it came out. I counted so
bringing
old.
the max as well.
That
Just
is
gotta
depressing.
find the right type. It should
That
take a
yeah,
little
that,
space.
that,
Me and
that
my
very
dad
much
played
is.
it, and we did the biplanes. It was so much fun.
Yeah, any questions, just ask. Like, I got kind of.
To be fair, that was the time when the game wasn't
Should have like
depressing, so
hours in, but I just
No,
started.
no, it was fun, and then I can't remember what happened. I came back to it 3 or 4 years ago, and it was a pay to win shit fest.
3 mics, where Eagles, look it up.
Before money. Make room for a front. Scoot over. To the left, to the left. Yeah.
First Lieutenant, Alpha Company is all present and accounted for. Sir.
Copy. Post. All right, welcome everyone to the May ceremony. Let's go ahead and get this started with, let's get me Corporal Starling, Warrant Officer 1 Frost, Private Hobbs, who is discharged, and Private Forrester, post. Bow face. These soldiers here are being awarded the Military Outstanding Volunteer Service Medal. So this is for donating at least $50, and you are awarded a V device for $100. So here we have Corporal Starling, who donated $300. So he's getting a V device, and it's going to be awarded 3 times. Warrant Officer Frost, also with $100 V device, with Private Hobbs, $100 with a V device, and Private Forrester, $150 with a V device. So a big thank you to these guys. You single-handedly pay off all our server costs and website costs, and then you allow us to do more things with the unit, like anniversary gifts and creating mods for you guys. So a big hoo-ah to these guys. About face. Congratulations, fall back in, soldiers. All right, next up, we have a really long list, so I'm not going to call you all up. So first we have myself, 1 LT Vandal, 2 LT Winters, Chief Warrant Dio, Warrant Kelso, Warrant Tracy, First Sergeant Garcia, Staff Sergeant Kovic, Sergeant Keedon, Corporal Hunter, Corporal McMahon, Specialist Hewson, Specialist York, Specialist Erickson, Specialist Vic, Specialist Bills, Specialist Margaretson, Specialist Birdie, Specialist Clayton, Specialist Fitzgerald, Specialist Coe, Specialist Swoop, Specialist Bartel, Private First Class Anderson, Private First Class Grant, Private First Class Schmull, Private Gonzalez, Private Ford, Private Harrow, and Private Baker are all being awarded the Good Conduct Medal. So this is an easy medal that you guys can get for good attendance, good performance over the span of 3 months. If you do that, then get a Good Conduct Medal. So let's give a big hoo-ah to everybody on this list. Hoo-ah. All right, next up, get me Sergeant First Class Marsh, Sergeant Shade, Sergeant Krios, Corporal Donnelly, Specialist Erickson. We have myself, 1 LT Cooper, Chief Warrant 4 Dio, Corporal Winters, Sergeant First Class Marsh again, and 2nd LT Winters Post. Well, I heard Cooper on this list, so he better be posting. God damn. All right. So I guess everyone is either AFK on this list or not present. So we have Sergeant First Class Marsh, who's being awarded the Armed Forces Service Medal. So this is for 6 months of good work in your DMOS. He is being awarded it for a journalist. Then we have Sergeant Shade for a broadcast combat journalist. Sergeant Krios, also for broadcast combat journalist. Corporal Donnelly, also broadcast combat journalist. Then we have Specialist Erickson for 6 months as a journalist. We have myself as 6 months as OIC of BMO. Then we have Cooper for 6 months as COE. We have Chief Warrant Dio for 6 months as the warrant officer in charge of BMO. We have Corporal Winters for 6 months in CID. Sergeant Marsh again for 6 months in CID, and Winters for 6 months in CID. So without all your hard work, a lot of the stuff we do in the unit would not be possible. So let's give a big hoo-ah to everybody on this list.
Wow.
Hoo-ah.
Wow.
All right, next up, get me 2 LT Winters, Chief Warrant Polterak, Sergeant Shade, Sergeant Fives, Sergeant Bird, Corporal Winters, Specialist Birdlike, and Private First Class Jordal Post. About face. These soldiers here are being awarded the Armed Forces Expeditionary Medal. So this is for 12 months time in service. So yeah, this is also a pretty easy one to get. As long as you're here 12 months, get it. So congratulations to these guys. Let's give them a big hooah. 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 About face. Congratulations. Fall back in. All right, next up, get me Private First Class Anderson, Private First Class Gregoire, and Private First Class Schmull post.
Run, don't run.
About face. These soldiers here are being promoted to the grade and rank of Specialist E4. So, welcome to the E4 Mafia, boys. Let's give them a big hooah. Hooah. About face. Congrats. Fall back in. All right. Next up, we got a pretty long list. So let's get Private First Class Siebens, Sergeant Schacht, Staff Sergeant Ivanov, Sergeant Ayers, Sergeant Bird, Sergeant Schmierke, Staff Sergeant Kovic, Sergeant Nicholas, Specialist Kit, Private First Class Grant, Corporal McMahon, Warrant Officer 1 White, Warrant Officer 1 DeMaio, post. About face. These soldiers here are being awarded the Army Achievement Medal. So each of them got their own citations, starting with Private First Class Siebens. Private First Class Siebens has a total of 94% attendance rating, and for this he's awarded for his attendance, dedication, and solid work as a combat lifesaver within 2nd Squad Ghosts. Then we have a joint award for Sergeant Schacht, Staff Sergeant Ivanov, Staff Sergeant Ayers, and Sergeant Bird. These soldiers are being awarded the Army Achievement Medal for their dedication that they have shown throughout the 3-month field training exercise. They have led, coached, and motivated their fire team leaders and fire team members to prepare and ensure their operational capacity in the upcoming deployment. Then we have Sergeant Schmierke, who is being awarded the Army Achievement Medal by platoon leadership due to his outstanding dedication towards his squad. Sergeant Schmierke has been filling in as squad leader whenever his squad leader is out being utilized as acting platoon sergeant. He has led, coached, and mentored his fire team members to ensure that their operational capability in the upcoming deployment. Then we have Staff Sergeant Kovic with a V device. Kovic is being awarded the Army Achievement Medal with a V device for not only his dedication that he has shown throughout the 3-month FTX, wherein he has led, coached, and mentored his FTL and fire team members to prepare them, but also for his creation of the personalized striker compositions that ensure each squad has the equipment that they need pre-allocated in the strikers, therefore no longer needing to manually load supplies up all the time, and that they also have the squad assignments indicated on their license plates. So you guys will see that actually implemented in this mission. So then we have Sergeant Nicholas with a V device. Sergeant Nicholas is being awarded the Army Achievement Medal with a V device by platoon leadership for personally ensuring that 1st Platoon Widowmakers is medically prepared for the upcoming deployment, especially with the implementation of CAP Medical. Sergeant Nicholas was instrumental in the medical education efforts over the 3 months to all squad medics, combat lifesavers, and fire team members who wanted to learn the medical aspect of CAT to fully prepare the platoon for the upcoming deployment. Then we have Specialist Kit for his excellent demonstration of medical ability during FTX number 3, wherein he was able to manage a sizable triage area as a senior medic on the scene. During this time, he effectively balanced security forces, divided tasks to subordinates, and provided excellent triage to priority patients in an expedient and calm manner. Without his efforts, the casualties in the situation would have developed for the worse, and for this, he should be recognized. Then we have Private Grant. So, during CTC Mission 4, Private Grant showed great resolve and courage in the simulated engagements with enemy forces. He destroyed an enemy T-72 as well as a BTR-80 and the dismounts from said BTR. His actions and quick thinking certainly saved the squad from a mass casualty situation. Corporal McMahon. McMahon has served with excellence throughout the FTX and CTC phases. Their knowledge of CAT Medical has been instrumental in the success of First Squad, and their skill with CAT Medical has brought the squad back from the brink of disaster various times. Therefore, we're recommending Corporal McMahon for the Army Achievement Medal. Warrant Officer 1 White. Warrant Officer White has proven time and time again just how big of an asset he is on the team. The Warrant Officer has stepped up big time to ensure the unit and the brigade running flawlessly. Upon his rather sudden promotion to Warrant Officer, Warrant Officer 1 has shown quick thinking and decisiveness during his tasks. And then finally, we have Warrant Officer 1 DeMaio. Warrant Officer DeMaio has shown great responsibility and reliability. After CW2 Kelso's retirement was announced to the brigade, Warrant Officer 1 DeMaio was voluntold to become Kelso's replacement flight leader. The warrant wasted no time in squaring away his flight in and outside of the game. The soldier has been a reliable part of the brigade to the day he joined, and he has proved yet again just what it means to be a warrant officer. So as you hear on this list, they're all being awarded the Army Achievement Medal for some kind of great leadership act that they did. So let's give a big hooah to these guys, and I hope to see them getting some more soon. Hooah.
Wow.
About face. Congrats, soldiers. Keep up the hard work and fall back in. Next up, get me Warrant Officer 1 Lotus and Warrant Officer 1 DeMaio. Post. About face. These soldiers here are being promoted to the grade and rank CW2. Chief Warrant Officer 2. So let's give a big hooah to these guys. Hooah. About face. Fall back in. Congrats. All right, next up, get me OCS Babel and Sergeant First Class Marsh. Post. About face. These soldiers here are being awarded the Army Commendation Medal, the ARCOM. So, starting with OCS Babel. OCS Babel is being awarded the RCOM with V Device for his outstanding leadership and dedication throughout the 3 months FTX. He has been instrumental in the tireless efforts and the meticulous planning of the FTX so that First Platoon could execute and exercise with precision and achieve their training objectives effectively in preparation for the upcoming deployment. And then I know for certain Babel has put in a lot of hard work over these 3 months, so it's my honor to give it to him. Then we have Sergeant First Class Marsh, who is being awarded the RCOM as well with V Device for his outstanding leadership and dedication to the 3 months field training exercise. He has supported the planning phase and the execution of the FTX in First Platoon with the help of Babel in preparation for the upcoming deployment. So let's give a big hooah to these guys for their hard work. Hooah! About face. Congrats. Fall back in. Next up, get me Private Second Class Ditto, Private Rogers, and Private Panther Post. I don't see any of them here. So these soldiers are being awarded the National Defense Service Medal. So this is for serving in your country's army or your military, and then verifying it on our website. So we have Private Ditto here with the United States Marine Corps, Private Panther with the U.S. Army, and Private Rogers also with the U.S. Army. So let's give a big hooah to these guys.
Wow.
Hooah. All right. Next up, get me Sergeant Schmirky, Chief Warrant Polterak, Chief Warrant Tracy, Staff Sergeant Kovic, Sergeant Nicholas, Corporal Winters, Specialist York. Post. About face. These soldiers here are being awarded the Joint Service Achievement Medal, the JSAM. So this is for distinguished service in your DMOS. So starting with Sergeant Schmirky as the NCOIC of PAO. So this is for their outstanding work and dedication to producing the unit's Operation Northern Lights trailer. Then we have Chief Warrant Polterak for their work as a broadcast combat journalist. Due to a miscommunication within the Public Affairs Office broadcast combat journalist team, Chief Warrant Polterak was assigned to edit on a week where he was cramped for time. Chief Warrant Polterak, while addressing this miscommunication to the leadership, also stepped up to fulfill the assigned date and create a quality content for the YouTube channel. Then we have Chief Warrant Tracy, who is... So the Chief Warrant Officer single-handedly took responsibility and care of updating patches for 3CAB to have them be more distinct on their signature flight suits in the signatures. Their new patches make them distinguishable for what element and call sign they are part of. Then we have a joint award for Staff Sergeant Kovic, Sergeant Nicholas, Corporal Winters, and Specialist York for their work as a 21 Yankee. So throughout the entirety of the FTX, these individuals executed all uniform requests in a timely manner, and their actions have shown their professionalism and dedication to the uniform updating team and the entirety of the 3rd ID. Then we have Corporal Winters for another JSAM. Throughout the entirety of the This one actually is. It says Corporal Winters, but then it says Specialist York. So I'll read it anyway, but we'll have to get that corrected for who it's for. So it says it's addressed to Corporal Winters, but then it says throughout the entirety of the FTX, Specialist York completed all uniform requests in a timely manner, and these actions have shown his professionalism and dedication to the entirety of the third AD. So I think I made a mistake there when copy pasting or something. Then we have Sergeant Shocked for his work as a drill sergeant. The sergeant constantly improves his dedication towards FIG by attending numerous courses and O-suits every single month since the start of 2024. And even before that, for the month of April, Shocked has surpassed the minimum attendance requirement by 3.5 points, which once again shows his great commitment to the DMOS. So you'll see everybody on this list for their extremely hard work in their DMOS. Once again, DMOS work is super important to the unit. It literally gets everything done. So let's give a big hooah to everybody here. Hooah. About face. Fall back in. Next up, let's get 1 LT Cooper, 1 Officer Frost, 1 Officer White, Specialist Erickson, Private Silva, Private Anderson, Post.
T. Anderson.
T. Anderson. About face. These soldiers here are being awarded the Humanitarian Service Medal. So for most of these people, this award is for achieving 60 votes in 1 month. So we have Cooper, Frost, White, Erickson, Silva, who are all being awarded for voting 60 times this month. Also, we have First Sergeant Garcia and Staff Sergeant Ivanov, who have voted 60 times in the month for 35 months in a row and 32 months in a row, respectively. So they are quite maxed out on that award. Then finally, we have Private T. Anderson, who donated several games to Specialist Alter, which in total are worth more than $50. So good deeds like that will also get you the HSM. And the reason we also give this award for voting is because voting is the #1 source of our new recruits. It's what keeps us alive. So that's why we force you guys to vote, and we really ask that you do it. Also, I've said this before, but voting on Clans List is currently still our #1 place, but also we have MilSim units to vote on as well. You'll see in the forums there is a button now that you can click on that links you straight to MilSim units. It's not tracked, but if you could get us to #1 constantly, that'd be great. So let's give a big hooah to everybody on this list here. Hooah. All right, about face. Congrats. Fall back in, soldiers. Next up, get me Specialist Fitzgerald and Specialist Swoop Post. I don't see them online. So these soldiers here are being awarded their French Cord. So this is for achieving 3 skill badges, like having Ranger, Airborne, and Air Assault. I know specifically these 2 have completed all those courses already, I think a few months ago, and they were missed over. So they're being late awarded their French Cord. So let's give a big hooah to these guys. Hooah. Next up, get me Chief Warrant Kelso, Sergeant Schmierke, 1 LT Cooper, First Sergeant Garcia, 1 LT Vandal, Staff Sergeant Kovic, and Corporal Winters, Sergeant First Class Marsh, and Sergeant Nicholas Post. About face. These soldiers here are being awarded the Joint Service Commendation Medal, the JSCOM. So this is one step above the JSAM for their hard work in ADMOS. So starting with Kelso as a journalist for his outstanding work and dedication to producing the unit's Q1 of 2024 newsletter. Then we have Sergeant Schmierke as the NCOSC of PAO for his outstanding work and dedication to producing the Q1 newsletter. Then we have 1 LT Cooper as the OIC of PAO for his outstanding work and dedication to producing the unit's Operation Northern Lights trailer, which, if you haven't seen yet, released today. So go check that out later. Then we have First Sergeant Garcia for their outstanding work and dedication in the planning and executing of the Northern Lights operation, as well 1 LT Vandal also for his work in planning and executing the Northern Lights operation. These two have put in a lot of hard work throughout the past 3 months in planning, getting everything ready for this operation. There's a lot of behind the scenes work that you wouldn't expect, so I personally am giving them this award. Then we have Staff Sergeant Kovic for going above and beyond in CID during the month of March in completing uniform requests. The Staff Sergeant completed a total of 16 requests and proactively deciding to take up more requests where possible. This ensured requests were being handled in a quick and fast manner. Additionally, he kept informing his superior about new requests being made constantly, making sure CID was always up to date. Then we have Corporal Winters. Corporal Winters took it upon herself to create a basic AGSU uniform for our female soldiers. The time spent on creating the basics paid off and being able to have all soldiers in the unit be in the new pink and green uniforms. Her service and dedication have been noticed and is worthy of appreciation. Then we have Sergeant First Class Marsh. Sergeant First Class Marsh has proved to be a solid source of information when it came down to military knowledge about uniforms. His answers and responses have proven to improve the knowledge base for the DMOS and increases the quality of uniforms, but additionally signatures as well. Then we have Sergeant Nicholas. During the months of January, February, March, and April, Sergeant Nicholas has kept the uniform updaters in his team focused and on task, completing every ceremony and uniform creation request on time and accurate, resulting in all updates and creation requests being completed in a timely manner. Let's give a big hooah to these guys for their hard work. Hooah. About face. Congrats, soldiers. Fall back in. Next up, we have Chief Warrant 4 Diomedes, but he is not here. So he is being awarded his Master Aviator badge. This is awarded for no less than 3 months of service as a Chief Warrant 4. And I know he's going for his Chief Warrant 5, but that's like 10 years out. So let's give a big hoo to this guy.
Whoa.
All right, I think we're almost done here. So lastly, let me get OCS Babel post. About face. OCS Babel here is finally being promoted to the grade and rank of second lieutenant. The 2LT here has, like I said before, has worked tirelessly, almost working too much for the unit over the past year. He's been also stepping up because he hasn't had a real platoon sergeant for the past little while since he's been on LOA. So it's given him almost double the work, but nonetheless, Babel here has prevailed. He finally finished his OCS school, and it's my honor to finally promote him to 2LT. Let's give him a big hooah. About face. Congratulations, 2LT. Now, Babel, please choose up anyone of your choosing for your officer's first salute.
First Sergeant Garcia. Post.
Assistant.
Thank you, Sergeant. First Sergeant
Alright.
Garcia. Pull back in.
All right, congrats, Babel. Fall back in as well.
Thank you, LT.
All right, that wraps up all the awards and promotions for today. So lastly, we have some closing notes. We have a few anniversaries this month. So starting with Major LaFlash for 18 years of service. That's quite a bit. So then we have 1LT Cooper, Warrant Officer Frost, Specialist Sergeant Keydon, and Specialist Bills, who are all hitting their 3 years. So you should be expecting a message from Major LaFlash for your 3-year anniversary gift. Then we have Warrant Officer 1 DeMaio and Specialist Margaretson, who are hitting their 1 year. So also, as well, you should be receiving a message for your 1-year anniversary gift. Let's give a big hooah to those guys. Also, some new enlistees in the month of April. We'd like to welcome them to the unit. We have Private J. Allen, Private Panther, Private Hunt, Private Donovan, Private Fayron, Private Saddler, and Private Rogers. Welcome to the unit, and we hope to see you here for a long time. Then finally, we have some FIG courses coming up this month. We have Airborne School on the 18th of May at 1800 Eastern Time. And then we have Combat Lifesaver course, the CAT medical version. So if you're struggling with that, that will be on May 25th at 1800 Eastern. So with that being said, The operation is about to start soon. Leadership briefing is at 14:15. We will be restarting the server, and then you guys can load up. For the rest of you guys, you can load up at 14:30. So, hooah, everyone, and you're all dismissed.
Hooah.
Hooah. Don't forget to vote and report in as well.
All right, gentlemen, this is what we've trained for the last 3 months.
Do you handle the fucking
Lock and load.
Hell yeah, boy.
Sir, I. Oh,